So my Ford Focus ST Edition mistake. So actually, yeah, this is something I want to share. I've shared a lot of content on the Ford Focus ST Edition. Yeah, I've met up with owners. I've met up with a dealership as well to sort of share the car with some fantastic images, which I'll share as I'm kind of speaking now. But there was one thing that I talked about, which was about the infotainment actually. And I just kind of want to clarify a few things. Something that I've learned from a subscriber actually really helpful. And just go into a bit of depth around that and what that kind of means for current versions STs which are built or current Focus models. And yeah, a little bit of a mistake in terms of just me, understanding what it's all about. And I'll get kind of straight into that kind of topic actually. So one thing that had changed about the Focus ST Edition, amongst with a few things, with the Azura blue paint, the blue stitching, the track pack, and kind of like the options that come with it, the obviously adjustable, manually adjustable coilovers. The one thing I'd noticed was the infotainment, and this had changed sort of on the dash. And I believed that was a specific ST Edition type feature. And it turns out that this is actually what is on all Ford Focus models with this new recent update. And this came to the forefront, just as I can show here from some of the comments on a previous video. Someone commented, very grateful to my subscribers. And yeah, if you enjoy my content, check back on previous content as well. You know, you might find something that you find useful, and yeah, get involved in the comments. It always helps me out and it helps other people out too. And they said to me that all Ford Focus is built after the 21st of the 3rd, which is March 2024, come with the same digital cluster of the ST Edition, and mentioned about the user manual. Now, I couldn't find the user manual because it doesn't allow links in here, but I had a little check on Ford's website and I looked at the owner's manual, and as you can see here, yes, there is an update here which says owner's manual, vehicles built from the 21st to the 3rd 2024. I clicked on that and that sends me to here, and you have a plethora of information just about the car, which is really handy to kind of like check through. And obviously with the Focus ST Editions, they're with the 12.3 inch infotainment cluster. But if you just click on the instrument cluster in general, and then you click on the 12.3 inch, which is what comes with the ST, really good display, you can see that you have that new dash. So you have the sort of like the dots essentially in between the two numbers now. So it's like 4.0 on the revs or 4.1, and it just changes it. And that is actually now going to be in place for all vehicles built after the date kind of mentioned, 21st. So if your car was built after the 21st of March this year, you will have the exact same display as you will see on the Focus ST Edition. As all Focus ST Editions are delivered after that date, they will have this dash. And there was a little bit of a debate in terms of which was better. You know, certainly for me, I felt as though like the previous gen had a little bit more of a aggressive style dash. Now, this is new, and I think even speaking to my last owner of the ST Edition, there were a few glitches. There was a few glitches with sort of like the lane assist wasn't sort of in syncing as well as it possibly should be with the arrows. But overall, it certainly looked a little bit more toned down. Certainly for the ST model, it was a little bit of a strange one. You could change through the modes, but it didn't give you that sort of like that same sort of feel, which was a bit of a shame. And I guess they have the ability to do like over-the-air updates and things, but it's just to kind of clarify, it's not an ST Edition feature. It is something that you would get on any ST that you build from the date I've kind of mentioned. And that was kind of my mistake, I guess, a little bit. I was looking at certain features that were part of this limited run 300 built in the UK car. And that is something that is, it's not anything special. So it kind of does take away a little bit more of the specialist of that car. I've really enjoyed kind of sharing it, and I'd love to share more of the ST Edition actually. And if there's the opportunity to drive one, I'd love to share a drive on the channel. I did try actually at the dealership up in Gates and Stevenage, but they wouldn't allow me to test drive the car, which is a bit of a shame. I would have loved to have shown it there, but hopefully an owner in the future, and I can kind of share that as well with you on the channel, because it'd be good. I've driven a lot of track packs, but it'd just be interesting to try the ST Edition to get an idea of what that new instrument cluster is actually like. As you're sort of like on the move and more sort of getting stuck into it. But I'm really interested to know your comments in terms of which one you prefer. I've spoken a lot about this car, and is it one less thing that makes it kind of special and worth the sort of £42,000 to £44,000 price tag? Do you prefer the old dash? I mean, I'm probably on the old dash sort of side at the moment, but I guess it's getting used to certain things. Certainly for an ST, I think something a little bit more, bit more in keeping with the car. I felt they had a good dash before. I was actually surprised they did quite a bit of a drastic update. The infotainment overall is really good. That screen works really, really well. There's no sort of lag in it, and it does the job. But it's interesting, of all these updates and all these intricacies that go on now in cars, it's always hard to keep touch. I don't even know how the manufacturers kind of do it, to be fair. It's a real tricky one to kind of work through. Overall, yeah, that's my little update sort of on the ST edition to kind of close the loop on things. And big thank you to the subscriber, actually. You know, that's really, really helpful of them to kind of comment, because I wouldn't have checked and I wouldn't have been able to find it from the manual from the 20th of the 3rd, 2024. That's super helpful. And that's what the channel's about. It's a community channel. We're all here to help each other out, to try to get whether it's about your fast Fords or your Volkswagen Golfs and the other cars I kind of talk about with Porsche and stuff with the cybersecurity bits, we're all kind of trying to work things out, and that's what my channel is about. So if you like that and you'd like to support it and help out, please subscribe and get involved in the comments. That's a big part of it, big part of the community, and we can all kind of work together to get through issues and situations. You know, when you're spending upwards of £40,000 on a car, it's nice to know what you're kind of getting and what's what, because yeah, it's a lot of money, and you know, you want to kind of know the details, and those finer details are becoming harder and harder with a lot of over-the-air updates and a lot of technology that comes in cars. It's hard to know what you're actually getting, but this hopefully clarifies a lot of things, and you know, it's a useful guide there from Ford just in terms of what's actually changed. And yeah, it's useful to find it and to go through that. And yeah, have a check back on previous content. There might be something else that you might be able to help out with in the comments on some of my other videos. And I've got plenty more to share and to come. And hopefully, I'd love to share a first drive on the ST edition. That's certainly the main thing. But it will likely have to be from a subscriber. And you know, I've got a fantastic audience, which I love so much. And you're extremely grateful to the last owner who just reached out, and I was able to share that car down on the south coast, and you know, obviously shared a bit of images here as well for you too. More on the ST edition, but yeah, a little bit on the infotainment update. So that's the update. No different to any other Focus or potentially even any other car that kind of has that 12.3 inch display, and then obviously the extra digital dash. There's no change, and that kind of clarifies it a little bit for people who are asking. But if you had a Focus ST built before that time, you will get the previous generation, which I had no issues with. I thought it was good. Sometimes it could be a little bit laggy on the screen, but that was on the screen where the steering wheel is rather than the bigger 12.3 inch screen. So yeah, that kind of clarifies it for you all. And yeah, subscribe, like, share, check back on previous content, and thanks so much for watching, and a big thank you for that subscriber for letting me know.